Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome once again to another episode of Mega Strange. We are your hosts, Derek and Johnny, and this week we're going digital. That's right, baby. It's Black Friday, but right around the corner is Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Which means everybody's going to be online searching for laptop deals. You know, that's why they call it Cyber Monday. That's when all the that's when all the laptops go on sale.
But I think this is coming out Scary Saturday.
Yeah. Strange Saturday.
Saturday.
It was such a perfect setup, but Scary Saturday beat us to the punch. We'll have to sue them for the rights to claim Saturday for ourselves. But even though this is on Scary Saturday, we're going to be doing some tales of cyber urban legends.
Yes, my favorite.
You could say digital fairy tales, digital dark tales,
digital ghosts, digital entities.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about video games, which is something that we both love.
Yes.
Something that we're both experts on. I myself am actually a luminary in the video game industry.
You really are, technically.
Technically, I actually am. Yeah, worked with some of the biggest video game developers of all time.
You paved the way for people who want to
this is
dress like vid game characters.
Let's tout my credentials more and more for the kids out there who don't know how I've earned my dues for the past 20 years.
Exactly.
Have rubbed elbows with some of the big shots out there. Miyamoto, the father of Nintendo.
I was gonna say
I'm personal friends with Kojima.
Miyamoto.
I hung out with Kamiya, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna come up in my shit today.
I dressed up like the Beatles with Gabe Newell, and
that's crazy.
Filmed a video with them, hung out with Gabe Newell. Isn't that crazy?
Was there a moment while you were doing that? Was there like a moment where you were like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
No, never.
Or were you just like, "Yo, we're about to dress like the Beatles with Gabe Newell"?
Never. The only time that I sometimes get nervous is when you're in those high stakes situations. And it's a high stakes situation because these people who you're working with often are like at the head of a multi-million or billion-dollar company. And they've taken time out of their very busy schedule to give it to you, a young kid, 18, 19, 20, sometimes, older, so that you could do something for YouTube. They don't quite understand it, but they're trusting you with their time. And things inevitably go wrong. On every film set, shit goes wrong. And I'm just always so nervous that I don't want to waste their time or be perceived to be like a jackass or an amateur. So
there's so many people who seethe on the internet about you guys and like how you've been able to, get in contact with all these big names. They're always like, oh, whenever I watch, they're just eating food on a podcast set. And it's like, how would they get to meet Gabe Newell? So that's pretty badass.
You'll rarely just see me eating food on a podcast set, by the way. That's not really my gimmick. I'm more of like the filmmaker, creative, let's like write and produce something and like get it seen by the world type entertainer.
Yeah.
I don't really I'm not so much into just like, I'm going to eat some food and talk about the food I'm eating. Though I have done that content too.
Same.
I mean, that's fun content, but it's not like my passion.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's why we, get all these awesome doors open for us.
Exactly.
That's just a perk. Once you hit that level, you're just afforded the luxury of making content that's just you eating delicious food.
Yeah.
You can't build a platform on that.
That is true.
It's like the cherry on top.
The internet is kind of fucked up where it's like, I feel like with any other type of celebrity, you let's say some actor has done like huge movies. You kind of hit a point where they're like, yeah, cool, they're doing commercials, that's fun. But with the internet, it's like they used to make the greatest content, and now they're just eating. Not talking about you guys. I just feel like I see stuff like that, and it's like, can't there be an era where you just kind of be like, they did it, have fun?
Yeah, I think when you're a fan, it's this weird. It's something that I wrestle with. This is so off base from our topic, by the way. Sorry, everybody. Check the timestamps down below to skip ahead to see when the actual episode
starts at 8. I hate when people do that.
But I create stuff, obviously produce this show and all kinds of stuff, but I always like to think of it from like the fan perspective. I always try to keep that in mind because that's why I got into this stuff. That's why I got into entertainment because I loved it so much. I liked being entertained. I like being entertained.
Yeah.
And so I like being a fan and having that fan experience. So as a fan, I feel like, you kind of feel like there's this illusion that the things you like are kind of like crystallized in this moment.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a long time to realize that entertainment and everything like creation is in this constant state of flux. It's not like people used to create good content. It's just like at that moment, they created something that seemed really special.
Exactly.
And in that moment, it seemed like bigger than it was. It was like very almost defining for that person. It's a weird thing to explain. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but like, for example, when you're into a new TV show and it suddenly becomes the biggest show on earth.
Yeah.
To you.
Just in general.
Yeah. Like, for example, Game of Thrones, you always judge it by kind of like that high that you got. But I feel like you kind of remember it fondly and you feel like, oh my gosh, it was so great for years and years. They were like making this awesome content when the truth of it was, there were kind of like 4 or 5 great episodes that really spiked into like those were awesome. And then a lot of like mid-tier episodes and a lot of episodes where you were just kind of sustained by that feeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll go back to a piece of content that you loved years later and you'll be like, actually wasn't that good, you know?
Yeah.
And then it makes you question like, why did I think this was so good? And how do I judge the new stuff that they're making when I've gone back to that old stuff that I used to love? And I don't quite love it so much. So entertainment's this weird thing where like everything's constantly changing.
Yeah.
Whatever hits now.
I use Metallica as an example a lot because I feel like they should be allowed to make their shitty albums and people shouldn't give them shit for it because they've made so much good content or good albums that's just like, can they not just like do this for fun and make the shitty music they want to make at this point? I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think that if anybody ever makes anything that is special to you, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And, if they can make a couple of things that are special to you, wow, that's like phenomenal. But you can't expect them to just always hit and dial into like your taste.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, like the artist is making stuff for themselves. And just the fact that you like it is cool. But, you got to make your own stuff if, you want your taste 100% represented.
Exactly. If you don't like the shit that you're watching, go make your own shit.
Well,
that's good advice to give the people at home.
If you want your taste to be 100% catered to, you should probably start creating that content. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I would say like, don't complain. But if your expectations are so high, it's up to you to fulfill them.
Because I feel like what happens, I've been there, like, oh, I don't like how this is, how this content is. Let me make my own content. You end up making the worst like content ever. Yeah. You definitely learn from it. But then you also learn like, oh, maybe this is not as easy as I thought it was.
Yeah, but then maybe you'll go back to that piece of content that you were criticizing and you'll understand maybe why the creators made the choices they did. And you'll be like, yeah, when I tried to do this, I ran into the same fucking problems. Yeah. It's hard to make something that's cool. It really is. But you know what's cool? This podcast. And we crank it out every single week without failure.
We're cranking.
We are cranking, even though it's holiday season. We're still in the grindhouse churning out these episodes.
Hell yeah!
And I'm excited for today's episode.
Me too,
Johnny. You are the captain of today's episode.
Oh,
this is a subject that you brought to the table. How would you describe what's in store for our audience today?
I kind of thought it would be best to describe it as things in video games that are unintentionally scary or video game urban legends.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
because I'll be covering video game urban legends.
Yeah. Mine definitely like go in and out.
I have a problem with video games. I don't find them unintentionally scary. A scary video game will scare me, but if it's not supposed to be scary, I don't really kind of get freaked out. I don't know.
I just love how as certain video games have aged, I think certain elements have become scarier. We've talked about this before, like N64 graphics are so janky now that they kind of look terrifying at times. The scene in Ocarina of Time where you see that zombie for the first time is way scarier now because it's like you see this fucking janky polygon guy coming at you. You're like, ooh, what is that?
It's always pretty scary.
Yeah, I know it was, but like when you think about it, like, I remember the first time I saw it as a kid, it was like my memory of it, it's all smoothed out and like, looks real. But then I see it now, it's like this fucking angular man.
See, this is where I have a disconnect.
Yeah,
I just feel like, I take it for what it is. Now, video games can jump scare me and have atmosphere, which makes me not want to explore them.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you're talking about is something else. Kind of this more mundane sense of horror. It's definitely like not a jump scare. It's unintentionally scary, which is just kind of like something that triggers this deep feeling inside of you that's, something is wrong.
Sorry.
Oh, and I was going to say, oftentimes you'll play these video games and that feeling will linger with you even when you're done playing the video game. You'll be laying in bed at night trying to fall asleep, but this creepy part of a video game will be, seeping into your mind and making you feel uncomfortable. And that is the feeling that we're going to be talking about today.
Exactly. I think if you look at like itch.io games in the horror section, every game is kind of in that PlayStation 1 style. And I feel like at that time, since everything was so limited, there's this sense of loneliness. Like any other like NPC in a video game around that time doesn't feel human. It feels like part of the background. So you only feel like the only alive thing in these worlds. Like when you go play Tomb Raider, it feels so lonely and scary.
Tomb Raider was a scary game when I was a kid because the tombs were very empty and cavernous. And then it did have jump scares. There was these fucking wolves in there that would hide around every fucking corner. Lara Croft is going in there with these two fully loaded 45 Magnum pistols, Dirty Harry style, and it's useless. Because these werewolves are like beasts, dude. They can't be stopped. They would scare the shit out of me. I played Tomb Raider in 7th grade for like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck this game.
And you're also
can't handle this.
And you're also like moving like this.
Yeah, and you're like running in like a void. You're like with moon gravity.
Yeah,
the way she moved.
It blew my mind when I tried that for the first time recently, and it was fucking tank controls. I was like, oh my god, how did people play this shit?
So let's get into the stories because we've been wasting enough time just shooting the shit here.
Do you want me to start, or do you want to
get
start?
into it? Go
okay.
ahead.
So the first thing I have here on my list is about the hit video game Mario Galaxy.
Okay. I think I've played Mario Galaxy. I never really got into Mario Galaxy. That's like Sean's favorite Mario game. Rocco really loves it too.
Yeah. It's in that Mario collection, but I've always been a 64 guy and an Odyssey person. But in that video game, in World 5, there's a level called Shaverburn Galaxy, I think. Shiverburn.
Shiverburn.
That would make
like
more sense.
Shaverburn.
Which is
like freezer burn.
Which is like a classic lava Mario level.
Lava. This is all over the place. I would think freezer burn would be like when you put something into the refrigerator for too long and it gets all frosty.
I think the gimmick of the level is that it's like hot and then also becomes ice.
It's like icy hot. Ooh. Hot to relieve and cold to soothe. I think that's the icy hot logo.
Yeah, my friend knew someone who licked an icy hot patch and died.
What the fuck?
I don't know if I should say that.
Hold on. Pause. Okay. Time out. You can die from licking an icy hot patch?
That's what I said too. I'm not gonna give any names, but my friend knew someone in high school who
how old were they?
I think they were a teenager. Yeah, they licked, and it wasn't immediate. Apparently, it just happened over time.
How much did they lick?
I don't know.
Was it like a taste, or was it like a full-on application?
I got to ask my friend because I was in a different state.
What details do you have?
All I know is that they were like,
was it
on the phone with a friend?
I need more coffee. Was it a man or a woman who died? A guy or a
woman?
Okay, it was a girl who died.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so sad.
I think and it was like,
and they were on the phone with your friend.
No, this was like this happened at their high school.
Okay,
and this was kind of like what he heard.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if this is hearsay or not.
Was it a dare?
Yeah. It was like on the phone, like, oh, I dare you to lick the icy hot pack, and then like, yeah, the person died. I don't want to give too much information, but I don't know if I'm sure this is like public news. You could probably Google it.
Oh my god, that's so horrible.
Right? I think about that all the time. I've never used an icy hot patch just because my friend told me that story.
Well, I'm sure that Actually, I'm not sure of anything in this story. Is that a normal react? I was going to say, like, that's got to be a rare case of, allergic reaction to icy hot, but I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to lick it. Maybe it's highly toxic.
I think it's just chemicals.
Ooh.
It makes sense. Like you want that in your mouth.
Back to Mario Galaxy.
So in Mario Galaxy, in this level, Shiver Burn, which is, like I said, a classic lava Mario level.
Uh-huh.
But when you start the level and enter, you can enter first person mode.
Okay.
And when you look behind you, there's two shadowy figures looming in the background. They never move. They just observe Mario.
Spooky.
I have video and photos of this if you want to check that out.
All right. So these are the shadow people that live in Shiverburn, Mario Galaxy. By the way, do not lick your screen at this moment because it could kill you. What?
I'm going to turn the fucking sound off. But yeah, you see them?
That is creepy.
Right? Like wherever you are in the level.
Who discovered that?
This is a very famous, like people just noticed it. They looked up and they saw those little guys.
Yeah, that is unintentionally creepy. That's
right?
Very creepy. Just the feeling of being watched by these ominous figures that never come closer. That's
and yeah, this is a closer up photo of them.
Kudos, Nintendo,
I'll keep this on the screen. Because there's not much known about these. Obviously people have talked to Nintendo and asked about it and no one said anything. And people were concerned if in the recent re-release of Galaxy for the Mario collection, if they'd still be there.
And are they?
They are still there.
They're the evil Nintendo, the Nintendo equivalent of lizard people.
Yeah.
They really secretly rule Nintendo.
There's a couple of things. Some people think that these are, no one knows that this is intentionally in there, but people kind of have drawn similarities between these and I think they're called Kodama tree spirits, which are famously in the movie Princess Mononoke.
Right.
I think I have a photo.
Those are like the head twitching things.
Yeah. I have a photo of them right here.
Those are like the head twitching things in Princess Mononoke.
And then I also have a photo of someone ripped the texture from the game. Yeah, there it is. That's them right there.
Look like Play-Doh.
Yeah, right. I find what's really scary about them is how like they're not like human. They're like vaguely human shaped.
They're very unintimidating. Like I feel like I could just step on them.
Yeah, the scary part is definitely them looming over you in the background. But there's a couple other things here. This was cracking me up. But there's a site called Go Nintendo.
Yeah.
And a user on that site named Grr Tacos.
Grr Tacos.
Which I think is an Invader Zim reference. They hacked the game and they got more info about these mysterious beings. And the only thing they found was a file name for the skybox, which is, quote, Beyond Hell Valley Sky. That was the file name. And these textures that I showed you before were called Hell Valley Sky trees.
Okay, so they could be
trees
spirits. And
right?
Hell Valley clearly is the name of Shiverburn.
Yeah.
Shiverburn actually is an allegory for hell.
Yeah. And
when you go to Shiverburn in Mario Galaxy, you're really going to hell.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
So that's my first one. That thing has always interested me. Whenever I see videos about like scary things in video games, my brain always goes to these. I think they're super interesting.
That's a good one. That's a good
yeah.
one to kick us off. Thank you. Very spooky with the Hell Valley Sky Tree Spirits. How about this one for you?
Yes.
Not so spooky. This is more of an urban legend. And this fits in right with our show. So you're familiar with the Rockstar game. A lot of people say the best Grand Theft Auto of all time.
Uh-huh.
What's your opinion?
You know, I've never fully played one. I mean, I played 5.
Yeah.
I got like halfway through.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was decent. I got to the fucking forklift fucking area or whatever, the shipping container shit, and I hated it.
So is that your favorite?
I guess if I had to pick one, I would say that. I know people love 3.
People love 3, but more so, which you may or may not know, people love San Andreas, which came out a year after 3.
All I remember about San Andreas is going over a friend's house and he rented it from Blockbuster and he had to do like a rap mini game.
Yeah.
And I was very confused.
It takes place in like a Los Angeles type Parallel City. You know,
Yeah.
Liberty City is like New York, and Vice City is like Miami. Well, San Andreas is sort of like Los Angeles. Well,
Does 5 take place in San Andreas?
it does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 4 took place in Liberty City.
Yeah.
As well as 3. So they kind of like bounce back and forth between these 3 cities. Yeah. Or are they going to go back to Vice? Are they going to go back to Liberty City for number 6? That's the big question.
It'd be fucking sick if we got a 1-to-1 New York City. Because I know, like, when I explored 5, I was like, holy shit, this is like 1-to-1 with LA. Anyway.
Well, in the 2004 version of San Andreas, players claim, and this has never been confirmed, but players claim that there is a cryptozoological creature within the game.
Oh, shit.
And it's a famous one. Mothman.
Oh.
Right here, baby.
There he is.
Some people claim to have seen Mothman in San Andreas, the 7-foot headless creature with enormous wings and red eyes. It's said that he is most likely seen when a plane crashes or when in-game weather is very stormy, because, you know, Mothman famously is a harbinger of doom.
Yes.
And shows up when bad things are supposed to happen. He's supposedly most often seen near Bone County in San Andreas. And a lot of like alleged screenshots and videos have surfaced, but they've all been made with mods. So no actual confirmed photos of Mothman exist, but some people out there are still hunting for Mothman in the San Andreas game. I have one of these screenshots here if people want to take a look at it.
Let's do it. That's creepy.
So in typical cryptozoology fashion, it's a blurry photo and you can't even really make out where Mothman is. I think there could be 2 Mothmen in this photo. It's either the one like right by us here on the street, or it's the one like on top of the bridge up there.
Yeah.
Probably that one. This is a mod. This is a fake. This is what it would look like if you did see Mothman in San Andreas. I don't know. You know, a lot of these urban legends and ghost stories about video games often involve supposed like mystery characters, hidden characters, or characters that were removed from the game that were in there at one point and were later deleted, but there's still remnants of them left in there.
Yeah, I know there's like a bunch with Mortal Kombat, and also like Mario 64 has some cut content that people are like weirdly terrified of.
What's your next story?
Oh. This one is one of my favorites, and I hope you're down with it because it's fucking weird.
Let's go.
In the video game Sonic CD, like many games from this era, there was like a sound test mode. I don't know if you ever messed around with sound test modes.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I was always testing the sound on my Sega CD.
Back in the day, was the only way to really listen to the music from video games, because...
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. In fact, I'm joking, but I would, as a kid, often like put a CD into my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And use the PlayStation CD player to like party in my room. So like... Now that's what I call music 70s edition. And I put on like disco hits on my PlayStation and just like turn on a lava lamp and dance in my room alone by myself as like a really overweight 6th, 7th grader.
One of my favorite memories is me and my friend Chris. We were playing Killer Instinct all fucking night. And I stayed over his house and he had a CD that had the soundtrack. And one of the songs for one of the characters had like this creepy like breathing, and we couldn't fall asleep. We were so scared. We were like, oh, the fucking breathing guy.
The game is breathing. Anyway, so the Sonic games.
So Sonic CD, it had a sound test mode for listening to the game music. And if you hit a specific button combo, which was down, down, left, right, and A, you were transported to a splash page with extremely eerie music that had the distorted laughter of Dr. Robotnik. And a repeating pattern of Sonic the Hedgehog wagging his finger with a horrific human-looking face and just Japanese text. I have footage of this.
Okay, let's see how scary this is. Is this unintentionally scary?
So I think this shows kind of the whole process.
Okay, he's wagging the finger. I remember this, yeah.
Sonic CD is awesome. This is the sound test.
Down, down, up, BA or whatever.
Yeah,
Up,
down,
up,
down, left, right, and A. And then I think that brings you to the sound test. Excuse me. And then you enter this code.
Who figures this out?
That's what I'm saying. And then you get transported to this.
Ring. Japanese text. What the fuck?
Right?
What?
I know, right? So I'm gonna pause it here.
Okay.
The text. I found the translation of the text.
Yeah. What does that say?
And it says infinite fun. This part here says infinite fun.
Okay. That sounds like hell.
And it says Sega Enterprises. This says Sega Enterprises. And then it's signed by Majin Picture. Which we're covering it.
Infinite fun.
Right? Majin Picture is at the bottom here.
Okay.
And apparently that is the artist who his name is Masato Nishimura. And he's the artist who worked on the game and provided the Sonic voice lines. I'm out of here, and yes.
Yes.
So I love this. This is fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, this is legitimately scary. Like if you discovered this on your own, just messing around, this would give you nightmares.
The funny thing about this, I don't really want to ruin the mystique so fast, but the funny thing about this is in the Japanese release of this, it doesn't have that scary music.
Okay.
It's like this upbeat, like this is supposed to be a joke. Like the Sonic face is supposed to be funny, but in the American release, it has this fucking horrific music.
Somebody in the American translation, localization team is getting a good kick out of this one.
For real. Like, because that was a mystery for a long time. People really didn't understand. There are other secret images you can unlock in Sonic CD. None as horrific as that.
Yeah. That one is legit scary. Okay, congratulations. You've lived up to the name of today's episode. That was actually scary, creepy. This one is more of a mystery that I have next. The last one, okay, Mothman, whatever. Maybe it's a prank. Maybe people are just saying it. But this one's real.
Okay.
This one is remained unsolved for several years. This is the legend of something called the Shy Guy Jungle Serial Key.
Okay.
You may have heard of this. This is an urban legend that springs from the 2012 release of the game Paper Mario Sticker Star.
Okay.
It's a remake to, or not a remake, but a sequel to Paper Mario.
Yeah, Thousand Year Door, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Well, according to the urban legend, in World 5-1, Shy Guy Jungle, the players can dig around this giant trash pile and you can find a bunch of like discarded items.
Okay.
One of them being this mysterious serial key.
Oh.
XD3R-B8HH9ZR2FL16.
Oh.
I have a photo of
Yeah,
this. Let's
yeah.
pull it up.
I love that this is like a photo of a screen.
Yeah, this is an actual photograph
Yeah.
from the screen of the 2012 game, Paper Mario Sticker Star. So people dug around this trash pile and found this serial code. And they originally thought it was a Club Nintendo code or an eShop code.
Okay.
But when they entered the code in, they received a message that said wrong code. What's interesting about this is the typical message you receive is code has already been entered.
Okay.
But instead they got wrong code.
Wrong code.
As of today, and this is 10 years later.
Uh-huh. Oh, they figured it out?
No, nobody has ever been able to figure out the purpose of this code or even if it has a purpose.
Dude.
So Nintendo just floated this code out in a trash pile. Maybe it's just a big joke.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a code that was thrown away. But people like, I don't know, here's this serial code that Mario dug out in this video game once and nobody can figure out what the purpose of it is.
That reminds me of in Mario 64, I don't know if you ever heard about this, but in the basement, when you go to the place where all the booze are, there's that little fountain with the star on it. And there's a texture on it. And people kind of could make out, it says like L is real and then like a number. And
Right.
people thought it was like Luigi is real, and the number was like the amount of times you had to swim around the moat. I wonder if they were trying to like hone in on that again.
Yeah, I wonder. The world may never know.
Dude.
It's one of the biggest Mario mysteries out there.
The thing I love about video game fans is at some point they'll figure that shit out.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah, they'll rip apart the code and see what it really was. Okay, do you have another one?
Yes. Speaking about Mario 64, my next two are kind of silly. So just to counterbalance the horrific ones I just did.
All right.
But I wanted to talk about my favorite game, Mario 64, and the eel from Mario 64. As you know, we've covered this game in the past.
Yeah.
With the wet, dry world, evil aura.
Yeah, but the eel,
The eel takes the cake for me.
yeah, some people debate whether the eel is scary or not.
Yeah.
right?
But I wrote in my notes, the eel is the king of SM64 creepy shit.
Super Mario 64 creepy shit, really, the buck stops with the eel. Why is that?
I don't know. I think maybe it's just because how like water levels are fucking scary in general. When you have to swim in like an older game, that used to fill me with so much dread. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, they always suck.
The one level in Shadow of the Colossus where the Colossus is like an underwater one, I always get to that. I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like the idea of just swimming in dark water. But let me look at my notes here. The eel from Jolly Roger Bay, like I said, he's the king of creepy shit. But I personally feel like the N64 texture kind of adds I don't personally think it's scary, but I think the textures kind of add a creepy gloss to this creature.
Do we have a picture?
Yes, and I just feel like over time people have kind of been like, oh, this is terrifying.
All right, this is the king of Super Mario creepy shit.
So I think this has one of the best video game soundtracks, but you see him like looming. It's like his beady eyes that really.
Oh, he's got like the big teeth. Oh, he pops out. He's pretty scary.
Right? I don't
He's
know why.
intimidating for a Mario game.
Yeah.
He's pretty intimidating. He looks deadly.
And like, yeah, I feel like the how polygonal he is kind of adds to it. But to me, he's never really been scary. I'm a fan of the eel. Did you know the eel has a name?
What's the eel's name?
Unagi, which means eel.
Go figure. You can order him at your local sushi establishment.
There's other things that I wrote down just to kind of add to this. I feel like the name of the level of this star really adds to the creepy factor. It's called "Can the Eel Come Out to Play?" Like,
can the eel come out? Well, he looks like he's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is
Like-
that his idea of playing? Murdering Mario?
yeah, are we hanging out with this fucking eel? Are we friends with the eel? I don't know the connotation of that.
Yeah.
Can the eel come out to play?
Shit. Trying to get like more comfortable here, you know.
But I guess we'll never know.
Not to interrupt your
No,
Can the
you're
eel come out to
fine.
play, but you know. Gotta take a 5-minute break here. Just gotta readjust, you know.
Okay.
Gotta get the middle of the podcast intermission, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this in.
Keep this in. Can the eel come out to play? It was scary.
Can the eel come out to play? There's a level in Crash that I love called the Eel Deal. That always makes me laugh.
The eel deal.
The Eel Deal.
Is that like Let's Make a Deal, Howie Mandel?
I guess so.
No way. It must predate that show.
Crash Bandicoot 2?
Oh yeah, by like 10 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
Howie Mandel's been having a fucking resurgence
A
recently.
renaissance. Yeah.
Anyway.
What did he post online recently that got the world all aflame?
Is this COVID related? And it was a prolapse.
That's pretty funny. Hey everybody, this is the Make It Strange podcast. And you know what? We appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining us. If you like this show, be sure to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Turn on notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Make It Strange Podcast. We don't have a Hive. We have a Twitter.
Yeah, Mega Strange 666.
Follow us on Twitter for now, for the time being.
Yeah, don't go on Hive. Hive's not barely works.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty lame.
It's pretty fucking
so
bad.
far. Oh. How about we get into the next one?
Okay.
I have another cryptid.
Hell yeah.
Another supposed cryptid sighting from another Grand Theft Auto game.
Hell yeah.
This one is more exciting to me. Check this out from Grand Theft Auto 5, Johnny's favorite Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Rumors of a half man, half rat lurking in the Easton Service Station in the game's subway tunnels.
Okay.
Supposedly, when approached, the creature will yell its name and attempt to kill the player. Rumors began when an image made the rounds on various internet forums. Most people dismiss this image as either a mod or a Photoshop. You want to see the image? Well, you can look here and see it's like, I think that's Nico.
Yeah.
No, that's not Nico Bellic. This is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
That's got to be like Trevor. That's somebody talking to a woman, but in the background, you see it's the Rat Man.
I think I've heard of the Rat Man before. Yeah. That's fucking scary. I like this photo.
Yeah, it's a good photo. I like that too. We should frame that one. Numerous people have searched through the game's code and they've discovered nothing conclusive, leading most people to think that the Rat Man is a hoax. But there are several lines of dialogue from the game that make people think that the rat creature might be true. A lot of NPCs seem to indicate that there is a large rat-like creature being sighted in the local area. And there is a scene at the Split Sides Comedy Club where a comedian mentions seeing a homeless person run past him at incredible speeds. So the Rat Man is supposedly incredibly fast.
Oh my God.
And this could be a reference to something. However, currently no conclusive proof of the Rat Man's existence. So
No Ratman.
like Mothman in San Andreas, some people don't believe in the Rat Man.
Like a moth
of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Like a Mothman to the flame.
Are you a Rat Man believer? Have you seen the Rat Man in Grand Theft Auto 5? Have you even looked for the Rat Man?
Wasn't Ratman the name of the guy in Portal that you'd find like his like carvings?
What is that Rat Man? I don't remember.
I thought his name was Ratman.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
We should have a Portal one.
Yeah.
But we don't. I don't. Do you have any more?
Yes. This one is fucking silly.
Okay.
I grabbed this because it's from your favorite game of all time. I'm assuming it's your favorite game of all time. I don't know if it actually
BMX Triple X.
Yes,
you
dude,
actually found an unintentionally scary moment from that game?
I'll never forget walking into fucking Blockbuster and seeing like they had to like censor the cover and be like like have a warning for parents. Anyway, no, this is from Smash Brothers Melee.
Okay. And what is this unintentionally scary moment from Smash Brothers?
So, Princess Daisy, she's not playable in Smash Bros, but she has an unlockable trophy.
Okay.
And in the game's trophy viewer mode, some fans realized something ain't right with Daisy.
Okay, what'd they do? They looked up her dress and what'd they find?
They looked behind her and she has another fucking eyeball.
What the fuck?
Right? Daisy has a third eyeball hidden behind her hair texture.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't that creepy?
Daisy has an eye in the back of her head?
Yeah.
That's got to be canon. That's got to be canon. She's got to be yokai.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't even look like her eye. It looks like it looks like Mario's eye.
This is not the real Daisy. This is some sort of shapeshifter.
But yeah, people have meticulously asked Nintendo about this, and no explanation has been given.
Wow, Nintendo.
Daisy's third eye.
Nintendo been suspiciously quiet since the third eye dropped.
Yes, since the third eye dropped.
Since the third eye opened.
Well, I'm third eye blind. Thank you.
All right.
And that's all I got.
Well, let's wrap this up with a real famous video game.
Okay.
And probably a mystery that everybody has thought for half a second. They've wondered what this mystery was, and then they forgot it ever existed. I'm going to resurrect this for you and solve it today.
Okay.
Let's go to this picture from the quintessential fighting game, Street Fighter 2. All right, so check this out.
Oh, Shenlong. Yes.
You know this?
Yes. I mean, I'm a big Street Fighter fan.
So are you familiar with this?
Yes.
This is the when you lose to Ryu,
Yeah.
it says you must defeat Shenlong to stand a chance. Well, for a long time, people thought Shenlong was a hidden or playable character in Street Fighter 2. Rumors about Shenlong's existence emerged from this winning quote from Ryu, "You must defeat Shenlong to stand a chance." And the gaming magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly, actually published...
Which you were in.
I was in that because I am a luminary in this industry.
I had to wrap it. I had to come back to that.
I was in several episodes, issues of it. They published an April Fool's joke, which referenced the rumor and actually told people a series of tasks you needed to do to unlock Shenlong, which was an almost impossible challenge, according to this April Fool's joke. First, the player had to defeat every fight with Ryu without taking a single hit of damage. Perfect the game, 100%. Then you had to make it to M. Bison. I don't even know how you would do this. Survive 10 rounds against M. Bison without either fighter taking damage, which means you have to dodge M. Bison for 10 rounds in a row. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know how you get to 10 rounds.
Is that how it works in Street Fighter 2 World Warrior? This is why it's an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
After doing that, you would be allowed to fight Shenlong, and if you defeated Shenlong, you would unlock him for the roster. This was published in EGM.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how many gullible kids spent their spring break wasting their time trying to 100% Street Fighter 2 with a no-hit perfect game. Like, talk about impossible.
EGM also did one with, they said how to unlock Sonic in Melee, and I definitely spent a summer trying to unlock Sonic.
These guys are preying on some of the they're preying on some of the dumbest people in America, young gamers.
Yes, exactly.
So shame on them. Shame on them. The truth of the matter is that Shenlong is actually a mistranslation of one of Ryu's attacks.
Yeah.
The Shuriken.
Yeah.
Do you know what Shuriken actually translates into?
No.
Supposedly it's Dragon Fist.
Oh, it's a Dragon Punch.
Well, according to my notes, it's Dragon Fist, but Dragon Punch, sure. So the quote should actually read, "You must defeat my Dragon Punch to stand a chance."
Yes.
But it's a mistranslation of that. So Shenlong doesn't actually exist. But for years and years and over a decade, people were convinced, like, who is Shenlong? I think Street Fighter should introduce Shenlong as Ryu's like long lost master or something.
I think this actually influenced them because there is a release of Street Fighter 2 where after you defeat Bison, Akuma comes in and then it's like a surprise.
And he looks like Ryu.
Yeah. So I think that was kind of their way of, because I think this rumor got a lot of legs. Like I think this was like really popular.
Akuma is Shenlong.
Exactly.
Could be. Well, that was my last story.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
I had a great time.
Yeah, I hope everybody out there enjoyed that. Let us know what you think, and are you going to go searching for the Rat Man? Leave a comment down below.
Please.
That's this week's episode. We'll be back next Saturday with another episode of Make It Strange. Everybody, I'm Derek. That's Johnny.
Hello.
Stay strange.
Good night.